Nope, you're good. I appreciate it. I was looking at the clock while I was talking, but
God, just shut him up already.
I mean, I can.
Right?
Then you're
Like,
gonna
come
have a
on, I'm
DM
here for
a night.
D&D, not for Wild RP.
Yeah.
With respect to all Wild RPers, but nah.
I mean, right
they,
now,
they sound like pieces of shit to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, yeah. There are good
It's
role
because
players
that Durant
there,
guy,
but
right?
jeez.
That's why I said, except for those crew. No offense to everyone else,
Yeah.
except for them.
Except that crew, yeah, for sure.
All of the offense to them, though.
Yeah. It's
And
so
I
true.
hope they step on a Lego all day.
Some of that missing Lego? We'll go into that.
No, I hope they step on a D4. I hope they step on a D4.
Silvery barbs. I'm
yeah,
throwing
right?
silvery
Yeah,
barbs after me.
a resin poured D4, not a plastic D4.
The plastic
Oh,
still
no.
hurts.
What? One of David's new D4s. They're metal,
Oh, there you go. All
and
right.
they don't have the edges like
rounded.
rounded either.
Yeah.
Yeah, my metal D4 might have a sharp metal D4.
I don't have any. All the metal ones I have are rounded, but all of my resin dice are super sharp, so it would not feel good on a D4. All right. Well, we're all here. We'll get this show started. First things first, make sure everybody can hear the music or the sound effects. If you cannot, let me know, please. For those watching at home, we are down a melon tonight. In fact, let me see if I can turn on the little thing. Oh, I don't have one. Rip. All right, we're just gonna leave it
Do I
empty.
have one?
The little placeholder image. I forgot when I rebuilt OBS. I don't have those, but it's fine. I'll just leave it as it is. As I said, we are down a melon tonight. So I believe Melon left instructions for who should play.
Yes, everybody has it. You, hit you, and only you.
Oh, beautiful, fantastic! It's just me. That'll be weird. Cool. I'm kidding. It's not gonna be weird.
I am a fair.
It's not gonna be weird. Okay, so we're good there. Before I get into the recap, does anybody have any housekeeping questions or anything we need to go over before we start?
Oh, I have inspiration from last week because you said you have inspiration for tonight.
Yes.
Is that expired or
no,
just
no, inspiration doesn't.
So, okay, cool.
No, inspiration rolls over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not use it or lose it. It's use it and then lose it and then I give it back to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, no, but I specifically said I remember you saying you have inspiration for tonight. So I was like, oh, is that a limited one? Did I miss it?
Oh no. That's not what I meant.
Oh yeah. Grigor
Yes.
is what-
Yeah, Grigor's
Grigor
token is
Grigor.
representing where the party is at, which is right there.
Oh right, we're at the
Yes.
clothier person, and I
Yep.
was standing outside. Yes.
So if
I
there's no
remember.
questions, actually, we'll go ahead and just divert straight into the recap. So last we left off, you guys had completed a long rest, had a quick morning breakfast chat at the Lucky Tankard as Durnan prepared for the day. There were some sort of morning rituals that were conducted by a few people to kind of get themselves kick-started for the day. And then after that, you guys decided to start making your way back down to the city council to re-attempt to enter the district now that it's a new day and you guys have kind of recouped from the fight the day previous. On the way, you've opted to divert into the central market for a little bit of shopping. Ideally starting with getting a tuxedo for Tippy's undead mount? Question mark? Companion? Question mark? Not really sure what we're classifying it at this point. But you have requested a custom tuxedo from the Draconian Threads stall at the Central Market from the proprietor, Synthra the Flame Weaver, who one of you've met before, and the rest of you have now met, she is a bronze dragonborn female who is very sophisticated, but also kind of gives off a vibe of almost like a Romany gypsy sort of, kind of like the way she dresses, the way she kind of carries herself, kind of like the characters from Sherlock Holmes who live in the caravans outside Paris, very much like that. But you guys have actually just left the Draconian Threads stall after custom ordering this tuxedo, half paid up front by, I believe, Hellraya. I think it was Hellraya. Was it Hellraya or Dax? I can't quite remember. And have just exited the stall. Grigor did purchase 2 items for himself, a set of gloves and a set of goggles, which turned out to be 2 magic items to aid in his endeavors moving throughout the city. And you guys are now standing in what is not a bustling market, but is clearly starting to gather some of the morning folk who are conducting their errands for either the morning or the day, as the day does start to crest from early morning into nearing noon. Standing here, what would you guys like to do next? Pizza not ready for Jesse. That's fine. I know that tie her up is BRB.
I'm gonna kind of go outside with Talina
Okay.
and just kind of wait for everybody else. But
Okay.
as that's happening, I am passing out flyers to people that are walking
Of course.
by.
Yes, absolutely. How could I be so silly as to forget that? Yes, many flyers
Yes.
are being passed out in the town, promoting your new and upcoming campaign to run for city council to represent small folk, despite the fact there is semi-common knowledge there is no active election.
Special election.
Special election, yep.
They happen all the time.
Yep. Actually, before you guys venture too far with people who are currently either BRB or AFK, does anybody want to, because we kind of rushed the end of last session for the simple reason of we were nearing our hard cutoff. Does anybody wish to spend time within Draconian Threads looking for items? Actually, I know that Fox, you were actually gone at this point. Did you want to do anything? Was there anything that you would look for in this, essentially this very eclectic set of tents that clearly are purveyors of threads and clothing and textiles and accessories, etc.?
I don't think so.
Okay, that's fine. Just checking. I know that you were gone, so okay. So
I want a
Kiri is good.
monocle.
You want a monocle?
Yeah.
Roll me an investigation check before you head out into the alley. Not the alley, but kind of the row.
I have to get it in an alley.
No, the corridors between the different tents and stalls.
You said investigation, right?
Yes, yeah, because you're looking for something specifically in here. It was almost a 1 on my screen. That would have been so funny. Okay, with a dirty 20, you do find a couple different monocles that are being displayed on some mannequins in one side near the gloves that Grigor had found. And you see about 4 different kinds and different metals and kind of styles, but they're all monocles.
I'm gonna just kind of point. Excuse me, how much of the eyepieces?
And you hear from the back, because she's already begun her work. She's just 1 second. I need to. Ow! One moment. And you can tell she's clearly had started something and is trying to break off of that.
Shit, so sorry.
It is quite all right. No worries. I just pricked myself. Give me 1 second here. Okay, I didn't think so. I was not prepared for a monocle. 1 moment. There it is. That's what I'm looking for. Thank goodness for...
Honestly, have you been prepared for anything that I've done so far?
Honestly, half of what you guys do. I want to raise a zombie and ride him around the city like a horse. I'm like, what? Let's see.
You should have known.
Right.
With the path I'm going.
It's so true. Okay. So she comes out, and you see that she has a little piece of cloth wrapped around her left index finger that's clearly she had pricked with some sort of a needle or something, and she's kind of rubbing it with her other fingers to kind of help soothe it a bit. And she comes out and says, "I'm sorry, what was the question, my dear?"
What is the price on the eyepieces?
The monocles, yes. I mean, and she kind of like looks at a few of them, and she kind of explains the differences between them. There's 4. One has sort of a brass color with a nice polished glass. The other has more of a silver color, and there's a gold one. There's a black one. And she kind of just explains the metallurgical difference between them. But she goes, these 2 here, and she points to the gold one and the silver one. And she says, these are going to be 1 gold apiece, and the black one here is going to be 5 silver, and then the bronze one here will be 8 silver.
I hand her 1 gold. I'll take the gold one. I appreciate it.
Of course, here you go. And she grabs it and reaches down where you clearly couldn't have grabbed it, and she reaches down so that you can have it, and you're good to go.
Nice.
And it's a standard monocle, nothing special about it.
Yeah. No, it's fine. I put it on.
Oh my gosh. Okay, the goblin is now wearing a purple suit, a almost metallic in like sheeny purple top hat, like with some sort of silk-like material, and a gold monocle. And
Getting ready for that business meeting at the bank in 3 days.
I guess so. Okay, and then with that, if no one else has any further business in the tent, you guys would all reconvene out in the corridor between the tents, where Talina had been waiting.
Yes, I have been people watching, and I was just curious if anything particular has maybe gathered my eye from the market stalls. Like, I'm obviously people watching, so I'm not
Sure.
looking at the goods.
Yeah.
But is there anything that'd be like out of the ordinary? Like not just your cloths, your breads, your cheeses.
Sure. Go ahead and roll me a perception, because while you are trying to do something, you have peripheral vision. I'm not gonna say this is a disadvantage, because this is not. While this isn't, it is daylight. The tents and the area in which you're standing is very shaded. These tents are very tall,
cool.
and so
Yeah.
there's a lot of just natural or unnatural shadows that are created by these tents.
Neato.
Okay, so with an 11, your vision and your focus is not on the tent. You're hearing conversation happen behind you. You are hearing, murmurs and such of people talking to one another, but you're not focused on what's happening in there. You're focused on what's happening out here. The most that you can see, like through peripheral vision, kind of glancing into the entrance of the tent every so often, is that there are very fine clothes mixed with very simple clothes. You do see everything, just in a quick glance at the angle you're at, you see everything from full dress and outfits to individual cloaks to individual hats and bonnets and scarves, and like just kind of a smattering of clothing items ranging from kind of simple but still nice all the way up to rather fancy. Okay. With that, as you guys reconvene outside the tent, as I said before there were some AFKers, what would you guys like to do?
So what's the verdict? We done in here? We coming back? I gathered some bits and pieces, but
Well, we gotta come back because she's not done with the tuxedo yet.
She said that it would be probably by the end of the day.
yeah, Ty knows that, but Talina didn't.
You would have
Yeah.
absolutely
Oh, yeah.
I was outside.
Anything, well,
Yeah,
anything that Synthra would have said, you could have heard from us. She has a very guttural, booming voice. Even when she speaks softly, it like the bait. I mean, she's a dragonborn, so like in Adalia, for clarity, because everybody here, their characters have existed in the world of Adalia, even though they're not familiar with the city of Darun. Any dragonborns your character have come in contact with all have the same general kind of like semi-Russian accent. They all have a very guttural, bassy voice, and you can almost feel it reverberate when they speak.
So we not heading to the council until later tonight, then? Take it.
Unless we want to get arrested.
I mean, I'm not particularly looking forward to such things.
I don't know. Could be fun.
Are you looking forward to it? I'm sure I can come up with something.
No, I promised to be on my best behavior. I'm on Team Tuxedo.
We need t-shirts. So, for clarity, Talina apparently squints at Pipwick. Squint stares, I believe, is the correct word verbiage.
I adjust my monocle. I promise.
That sells it.
Squinting intensifies.
There we go. Sorry. Okay. So, actually, Grigor, can I get a perception check, please? Okay. As you exit the stall, and you watch Pipwick and Talina have this exchange about being on best behaviors and the next plans and everything, and you do what you always do, which is your head starts to do that slow swivel where you start to scan the nearby area to see if there's anything that catches your eye, looking for any potential threats, targets, etc. Movement catches your left eye. Nothing that's shady, nothing suspicious, not like a darting movement, just some movement. And you glance over that way, and you catch the side profile of someone walking through the tents. Just very briefly. And you, with a 15, you swear internally you've seen that face before, but there's absolutely no way that you've seen this face before. There's no way that this, let me rephrase that, excuse me. You feel like you recognize this face, but you feel that's impossible. There's no way that face could be there. And this would have been off to your left, further down the tent area. And it basically would have been, picture it this way. So you guys are standing in a corridor of tents that's very long. It just goes left to right outside the tent you're standing in. And this would have been off to your left at the end of this row before it tees off with a perpendicular set of row, like a perpendicular row. This would have been someone moving. If you were looking down to your left, this would have been moving from that left to right across your row and disappearing to the right.
Grigor would try to move to get a better angle.
Okay.
Not like following directly, but
Sure.
like taking a indirect route.
Okay. So in order to get, I mean, basically what you can do is you can either just beeline it straight down to the end of your row and see if you can see him when you get to the perpendicular row. Or if Grigor is sees which direction he's going, which he did with a 15, you know which direction he's going. Trying to maybe head off the person or individual by dipping through stalls and tents, you can attempt to do that. It's kind of your decision if you want to try to, you can basically either try to go to where you last saw him and see if you can see his next position, or you can try to cut him off by moving through stalls. But you don't know where this individual is now. So you tell me what you want to do and I'll tell you what you need to do.
Would try to cut through the stalls.
Okay, so switching to you. I know you have city secrets, but this is not applied to this particular scenario because this is moving through a bunch of market stalls and everything and to a direction that you don't know the final destination. You're trying to find someone you don't have eyes on. So Grigor, basically, without saying a word by the sound of it, darts off in this general direction and then cuts right into a market stall. Grigor, I want you to roll me First, I want you to roll me either an acrobatics or an athletics check to see how well you can maneuver through these stalls quickly, not knowing what's on the other side of these different canvases and such, without knocking things over, causing a problem, or otherwise angering the different stall owners. Okay, with a 21, you are able to, with your acrobatics, very deftly dip into this market stall, and then basically you're able to quickly maneuver in and around different market stalls and go from stall to stall to stall without causing a problem, without angering anybody, and without tipping things over, etc. Now what I want you to do is I want you to roll me a survival check, or I think it's survival. Is survival for tracking? Let me double check that. I think it's survival.
Yes, it is.
Okay, yes. I need you to roll me a survival check to see if you can more or less track this individual down and correctly guesstimate where you need to go. Okay. So you dip through a couple of these stalls, and you are very nimble as a skilled rogue. You're able to get in and out of these stalls without hitting a single object, without knocking anybody over. At what point you actually come through, you dip into the next row, head goes left to right, you don't see anybody, you go into the next set of tents, and as you dip and duck under one of the hanging pieces of fabric on the edge of one of these tents, you almost bump into someone, you roll your shoulder back, kind of spin on your heels, knock something out of their hands, but as you spin around, you catch it in midair and you hand it up to them without even looking at them. They take it and you just keep walking. And you're able to move through these stalls row after row after row. Finally, what goes on for this endless amount of time, you get all the way to the wall of the market. You make it all the way basically down here. And you get out of the tents and you realize you can't find this individual anymore. They appear to have either evaded you or you went the wrong way.
Were we all there when he ran off?
Yeah, you guys were all standing there in the street. I was like trying to figure out the next steps, and Grigor just basically sees something, kind of cocks his head, and then just takes off.
Kira just like looks at the rest of the party. He's like, does he often do that?
I'm just gonna start following and be like, the last time this happened, somebody got stabbed.
That is what I am worried about.
So he went through the stalls, like basically in a beeline from the camera, just basically straight from. Top
Yeah,
right
here,
to
let me
bottom left,
see if I can help visualize this a teeny bit better, because I know I'm being a little.
yeah. So he basically went like that.
Yeah, essentially, yes. Essentially, what ended up
yeah.
happening is, let me see if I can find my little tool here. So you guys, for illustrative purposes, were, let's say, right about, hello? Okay, that's not right. Hold on.
That's the wrong tool, sir.
I'm trying to use the pencil, but it's not working. There we go. Okay, so let's say for illustrative purposes, you guys were more or less here, right? He sees somebody this direction moving this way. He does this, and then basically kind of has to do this through market stalls, because obviously they're not all lined up perfectly. And every time he gets to a row, he looks to see if he can find his quarry, and then he basically gets to the end and realizes he's at the end of the rows and he hasn't spotted his target yet.
I see. So given that he dodged to the for us left and then through, instead of following straight, I'll go to the end.
Okay.
And see if I can just spot at some point when he comes out of the market stalls.
Okay. Just for illustrative purposes, I'm going to put you basically right there. Grigor basically is now over here. Okay, so Pipwick, you said as soon as Grigor darts off, you look at Kyria, points this out, and you dart after?
I start following because the last time this happened, Dax got stabbed.
Okay, all right, fair enough. So very quickly, Pipwick starts to follow. Now, I'm not going to make you roll a survival check because obviously you're not tracking somebody, you're following somebody you can see. However, I do need you to roll me either an athletics or an acrobatics check to see if you are also able to move through this what is becoming more crowded marketplace without losing your target, aka Grigor, and or causing a problem by knocking something over, breaking something, or getting in somebody's way.
I'm gonna fail this, and I'm gonna get stabbed.
It's a marketplace, thankfully. Okay, a 15's not bad, actually. 15's pretty good. With a 15, you are able to keep up with him. You get a little bit further back from him, but you're able to see, every time you lose sight of him, you see a flutter of fabric, and you can very well guess which way he went. And after basically, Grigor, you get to that wall and realize, shoot, I'm at the end of the road here, essentially, and I don't see where he went. And as you're kind of sitting here contemplating your next move, Pipwick kind of stumbles out of the tent behind you, and Pipwick, you are now basically with Grigor.
I'm trying to get shivved.
Did anybody else follow? Kyria, you pointed this out. Does anybody else see Pipwick dart after Grigor and tag along? Talina just kind of beelines it all the way down straight left as far as she can go.
Yeah, just for clarification, she's not I don't know how fast Grigor and Pipwick are. Are they in a full run, sprint, whatever?
Grigor, how fast would you have been moving? Because that would dictate how fast Pipwick's moving.
Like a quick walk.
Okay. Okay, so kind of a jog.
Noticing that there's no super amount of haste in his step, Talina will just she'll walk, but like a step faster than she normally does.
Okay, so yeah, kind of average walking speed with a little pep in your step.
Yeah.
And Pipwick,
maybe adding a half dash instead of a full dash action.
Fair enough. Yeah, no problem. With Pipwick's short little legs, Pipwick has to pseudo run to keep up, but not full sprint, just all the heft in his step essentially. But again, the way the rolls worked out, it actually works out pretty well. Kyria, when you pointed this out about does he normally do that, Hellraya looks at you and kind of shakes her head a little bit and says, "Not as long as I've known him. He usually sticks with the group."
Well, do we follow him?
Well, the short one did, so... And then, and as she's saying it, she looks over and sees Talina go and says, well, maybe some of us should, but some of us should probably go with her as well. And let's see, we're gonna figure out which one Hellraya goes with by rolling a... Let's see which way she's going. Okay, Hellraya's gonna follow Grigor. I heard somebody's voice. Did somebody want to speak up as well? Apologies if I spoke over you. What's up?
I was just gonna say, once Dax sees that Hellrea is following Grigor,
Mm-hmm.
she just kind of starts lazily following Talina.
Okay.
Like she's in no rush. She's kind of like kicking her feet.
Okay.
Just lazily following.
Okay. Perfect. So Daxori follows Talina to what is effectively the southeast wall of the market. Hellrea didn't roll as well on the acrobatics check. With a 12, she does get a little bit further behind, and she does lose you guys for a minute. You guys can actually hear kind of a... I don't want to say a scuffle, but kind of like she's bumped into somebody about a row or two behind Pipwick and Grigor and is in a conversation with someone trying to sort of quell the mistake she may have just made. You're unsure of what exactly it is, but you just kind of hear a clatter of some objects and sort of some raised voices, and it's a couple rows behind you too. Tippy and Kiria, how do you guys respond to this? What do you guys do? Remembering, of course, Tippy is riding an undead dude that looks not like an undead dude. Yet. I love the fact that he's basically just planking.
You made him play.
That's because you guys made me do it last session.
I didn't make you do nothing. I don't know what Torn. Do I go with the others or do I go with the leader?
If you're not sure, you can just do /R space 1DC and flip a coin. You get a 0 or a 1.
You said
It's like your roll
Keyboard.
command, but then it's just one DC for one coin.
Worked. I could just do a coin in real life
Or
because
that.
I have that.
Yeah, or that. Just make sure you call it before you flip it.
I zoned out while eating pizza, so I'm just gonna go with the majority of people.
Well, right now it's it depends on what Tippy
Almost
does.
even.
Huh? Oh, I thought Fox was telling me what she flipped.
No, I said it's almost even.
Yeah, it's almost because basically Hellrea did follow up after Pipwick and Grigor, but then Dax and Talina went the other direction. I'll leave Scorch where he's at for now.
And we'll do tails.
I'm gonna go after Grigor because
Okay.
when people just run off after they don't normally do that, that's normally not a good thing.
Okay, so go ahead and again, you're not rolling you're not going to track somebody because you're following several people now in front of you. I do need you to roll me athletics or acrobatics to see how nimbly you can maneuver through this rather crowded, now starting to like say crowded space, without causing a problem.
I have acrobatics.
Okay, that's fine. Seems to make a little more sense for acrobatics as well.
No guidance 11.
Okay, same thing with 11, basically. As you're trying to keep up with what is now Hellrea, because Grigor went first, Pipwick basically darted after, Hellrea went after, and then you was, okay, I'm going to follow that. You basically are carefully moving through several of these stalls, and you're unable to keep sight on Hellrea for very long, until you come out of a stall, and you have to kind of pull one of these fabric sort of doorways that kind of is draping down from the ceiling. You go to pull and move it up, and the light catches you wrong. You squint for a second, and you step out, and you actually stumble into Hellrea, who's talking to somebody else, and sort of cause a little bit more of a kerfuffle right there in the street with the person who something else falls over. A jar falls over, and just a clay jar, and falls over and breaks, and he's just much more upset at the two of you for essentially disturbing his vendor space there. And again, Pipwick and Grigor, you guys can hear this about, I'd say, 2 rows back the direction you just came. Tippy, you said, did you decide what you're going to do?
I have a question first about my zombie buddy.
Uh-huh.
If I tell it to follow and listen to somebody, does that work?
Follow and listen to someone?
Yes. Does that work like that?
I mean, you
Listen
can
as
give
in
it...
follow commands from?
You can give it instructions because it's under your command for the next 24 hours. Well, for the remainder of the 24 hours since it was cast. As far as it listening, I mean, It's a mindless undead being. So theoretically, yes, but it's not going to be able to like report anything. I mean, it'll
Well,
follow
no, I meant
someone, but
if I tell it to go with Talina and Dax and listen, and they need
like
help
follow their
to
orders.
help. Yes.
I don't know the rules as written on this, but based on what I understand of it, I'm gonna say yes because currently speaking, it is under your control. Ergo, it's an ally, and because they are also companions and members of your party, and also allies, I will say if you give it the order to follow their orders, I would say that is permissible. Now, what I
technically
will
follow my order too.
Yeah, it's follow because you said, hey, follow these people and do what they say. However, I am going to give you fair warning that because it is a magical connection, this is an undead being that you are in control of, and if you get too far away from it, the chance of it not either understanding and or following the order is going to come down to a dice roll. Just letting you know. And you'd know that basically, like, if I get too far away from this thing, there's a chance it may not something may get wonky, is the best way I'll put it.
It might turn into an actual zombie.
No, that can't happen because as long as he's still under the spell. It's just if you get too far away from him, orders may get weird.
Is that one of the spells that actually has a range on it, or is that not?
No, I don't think there's any rules as written for this specific question. I'm just saying for the purposes of her.
No, I mean, rule-wise, there are some spells.
Yes.
I think those are more conjuring ones and not
Yes.
raised dead ones. But there are some spells where literally, if they get like further than 120 feet of you, then you lose control and type of thing.
Don't believe that's one of this one. It does have a range of 10 feet, but that's when you initially cast
That's
the
for
spell.
casting, yeah.
Yeah, that's on the initial cast. The creature is under your control for 24 hours, which it stops obeying any commands you've given to. Afterwards, it stops obeying any commands. To maintain control, you have to cast it after another 24 hours. You may cast the spell on the creature again before the current period is up. The use of the spell reasserts your control over up to 4 creatures you have animated with the spell rather than animating a new creature. So if you issue no commands, the creature takes the dodge action and moves only to avoid harm. Well, obviously, that's during combat. Once given an order, the creature continues to follow it until the task is complete. So if you give it the order of follow my friends and listen and do what they say, that's an order. And it's going to follow that order until it's complete. So if the order is indefinite, such as follow them and do what they say, essentially until I say otherwise, there's no reason it wouldn't do that. The only thing I'm going to say is if you get too far away, like you have to get pretty decently far away from it for this to kick in. You're unsure of what sort of effects it may have on the creature since you're not the one giving it orders anymore. Like for a prolonged period of time, you just don't really know what the outcome might be.
I think so. There's 4 of them with Grigor. Tippy's just gonna go with her little companion. Well, not little companion. With Dax and Talina.
Okay.
That way we even it up a little bit.
There we go. Okay. So you guys cut left and continue down the row, and at this point the party's about split even 4 and 4. I mean, well, 4 and 3 with a companion. I assume Scorch is sticking with Dax, unless otherwise noted.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right, just making sure. All right, so you guys do split up temporarily. With the way everybody kind of divvied up, Talina and your guys' group does make it to the southeast wall of the market after a couple of moments of walking. There is a bit of zigzagging that does need to take place as there is a tee off at the end of your row with some more tents, but you hit that, go left and right, and you kind of zigzag and you're continuing in a southeastern direction. After a moment or two, you do hit the southeast wall, and you're now at the southeast wall. Crowds are, starting to pick up a little bit. You can hear the sound and chatter at various stalls and the sounds of commerce being done, and everything appears to be a bustling day at the market. From what you can't see your companions currently in either direction.
But I do know that he ducked into a
You know that
tent going.
he
westish.
basically went southwest-ish, and you guys went southeast-ish.
Cool. So when we not hit the wall, but like when we get to like the last part where we can go south, I want to bend west, but I want to also slow down my pace a bit.
Okay,
so that the others can keep up.
Okay.
But then when we're together, I'll start picking it back up so that we can, as a group,
Okay, and you're
regroup slightly.
You're kind of heading along the wall. Did I understand that correctly?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
Trying to head off whatever they're chasing.
Sounds good.
Also, when Dax catches up to me, I'm gonna try to discreetly pass something back to her.
When Dax does?
And by
Okay.
using the word back, I'm assuming y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Okay, good.
I definitely don't, so that's good. So in that case, you guys do make it to the wall after a moment. Selene kind of looking around, not seeing Grigor or whatever strange thing may have caught his eye. You don't have to wait long before your companions do follow up behind you, as everyone's kind of moving at a leisurely pace. No one's really moving with any sort of expediency. If you want to try to, you said, like, cleverly pass something to her, I believe is what you said?
Just subtly. Like, I don't want to make it,
yes.
like, overly obvious that I'm, like, stretching my arm out towards them, but, like,
course.
walking next to them and just,
Yeah.
like, taking it out of my pocket and then
Of course.
poking their side with it.
Slide a hand check, please.
Oh, no, people might see that I pass a note
Mm-hmm.
to a friend of mine. Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
going to say
no.
that very, without, you know, you're not accustomed to this, and you try to be coy with it and clever, and unfortunately, it doesn't. You very clearly look like you're handing something to her. So people around you see you handing a letter to someone you're walking with. Tippy, you do happen to see Talina pass a folded piece of parchment from her coat pocket or her clothing pocket to Daxori, trying to be kind of sneaky about it. Dax does take it and pocket it definitely more. I'm not even gonna make you roll for it. Way more stealthy than Talina was, but you definitely catch eye of it as you continue to walk in a southwestern direction.
Is it one of those, you know which pocket it came from, but not which pocket it went to?
Correct. Yes, exactly. Like, you saw it make contact with Daxori's hand, and then you're like, wait, where'd it go? I know I saw it, and it's gone. While that's happening, and you guys are starting to make your way southwest along the wall, Grigor, you spill out into what is effectively the end of the market. You are at a wall, but you can, off to your right, you can see the southwest entrance to the market. You don't see the individual that caught your eye initially. You're scanning around, and after a kind of a brief moment, Pipwick kind of stumbles out behind you and kind of bumps into your leg and kind of catches you off guard, and you look down, and Pipwick's standing there looking up at you with his gold monocle on. And then after another beat or two, before you can even really exchange words, you hear, like, and you're kind of yelling as Hellrhea is clearly dealing with something. And then after another moment, you hear another smash as Kyria, you stumble out and bump into Hellrhea, who is already kind of getting a tongue lashing from this individual who's very upset at what's going on. Grigor and Pipwick, what do you guys do when you're in your current situation?
I just sigh deeply, put my head down, hold up a finger to Grigor, and then start walking back.
Okay, Pipwick, I'm not gonna make you roll or anything. You know where you came from. You start heading back that direction. Grigor, what do you do?
Gregor's gonna follow Pipwip back, but keeping his head on a swivel,
Okay.
trying to find the person.
Okay, sounds good. It doesn't take you long before you get back to the row in which these ones were in. By the time you arrive there, Kyria, the guy has already kind of calmed himself down. Actually, you know what? Actually, hold on. I'm not going to have Hellrhea do it because she initially caused this, mixed with, I don't want to roll too much for Melon's character. Kyria, would you do me a favor? How would Kyria handle this? How would she deal with someone who's clearly upset at what her friend has just done, mixed with kind of being a little bit guilty of it as well, based on kind of stumbling into the situation? Would she try to calm the individual down? Would she try to placate him? Would she threaten him? What would she do?
Well, she definitely would not threaten him.
Okay.
I don't remember what the word placate means.
Kind of just like appease, like basically like, regardless of whether or not you believe you're guilty, you're like, all right, man, sorry, like it's fine, like let's just move on. Like basically, it's kind of like trying to brush it under the rug.
Wouldn't do that either. No, as I run in there and cause a bunch of shit.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, do I see that nothing really came of it in terms of like what Grigor and the Green one are doing?
Not initially. You only see Hellrhea basically kind of stumbling through getting yelled at / like reprimanded for what happened. You don't see Grigor or Pipwick initially. You just have this basically a large human stall keeper. He's a big dude, a little bit fat, very muscular, very much taller than you, bald head, big thick mustache, no beard, and kind of a deep voice. And he's just like, "What are you doing? Why are you?" And he's just kind of yelling at her, just very upset. And you could very clearly see that a small crate has been overturned. And when you stumble out, what are 2 clay vases or jars have been broken on the ground, and that's it. There's no other damage. There's no other, like, no one's hurt. The stalls all seem relatively intact. It just looks like this guy was walking through the row carrying some goods and was bumped into by Hellrhea, causing a minor damage. And he's just, he's overreacting. It's very clear he's overreacting.
I say genuinely, not like, to get out of the situation. I say, I'm so sorry. We believe there might be danger. Following our friends who usually don't run off the way they do unless there is danger. I'm so sorry.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a persuasion check, please. And I'll say, based on your delivery and the fact that you came into this and are being much more calm about the whole situation, I'll give you advantage on that.
Okay. Stop asking me to use guidance. Yeah, those are not particularly good rolls.
Okay. Well, this one's going to be contested against whether or not he is, if he's going to be patient about it or not. Let's see. Oh, wait, no, hold on. There we go. Let's see. That is going to be a meets it, beats it. So 11 is going to be enough. And for a brief moment, he looks over, he snaps his vision over at you, and he looks like he's about to start like moving his anger to you. And something in your eyes and your tone just immediately sets him at ease. And he's like, well, just be more careful. And he kind of turns over and he starts to gather up what little stuff he can, puts it back in his crate, picks it up, kind of looks over his shoulder and kind of gives you guys both kind of a squint, and then walks off and seems to be put at ease by that, and leaves you. And it's about that time that he's walking away that Pipwick and Grigor, you guys emerge from the row of stalls into the row they're in and see the back of this large dude carrying something walking away, and Hellrhea and Kyria standing in the aisle.
Is everything fine?
I was making sure you didn't get stabbed. Grigor didn't get stabbed, so I think we're okay.
Right. Why did you run off like that?
It's nothing. Thought I saw someone I recognized.
Okay, well, and I know he said it after you ran off, but Pipwick here is right. Last time somebody ran off, they did get stabbed, so please don't do that again.
Yeah, let's all take a minute to talk about communication and how important it is. Especially when you're in a large city with a lot of people.
Especially some people that are apparently out to get at least some of us.
While you guys are standing here, can I get yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do it this way. Can I get perception checks from all 4 of you, please?
You can get them.
Yeah, yeah. And because I always feel bad rolling for players when they go poorly, can I get one of you to roll me a d20 and add a 6, please? This is gonna be for Hellrhea.
Sure, I'll do it.
Thank you. Okay.
Holy, look at that.
Okay.
Add a d6.
No, add a flat 6, because that's
yeah, sorry, flat 6.
yeah, that's her modifier for perception.
Not the D.
Okay. And I assume that 17 there is for Hellrhea.
That's hers, yeah.
Okay. Jeez. So Pipwick and Kyria, you guys are basically just like, all right, well, we've given them our say so. Let's go ahead and move on. Hellrhea, her ears.
I'm gonna buy a bottle of champagne the first time I perceive something.
You know what? With a 4, you do perceive that there is a very simple alcohol vendor at the end of the road, like basically this end.
No, I just
Yeah.
meant in real life
Oh.
because I have failed every perception check.
Yeah, I don't know what, man. Clearly can't see stuff. Yeah, but Hellraya, I'm sorry. Yes, Hellraya's ears kind of twitch for a second, and she kind of looks around, and she clearly seems like something's off. She's looking around in various directions. Grigor, your spidey senses, for lack of a better term, kind of tingle. You kind of look over your left shoulder down the aisle this way. And as you glance over your shoulder and look down the aisle, basically in the direction where the big lumbering dude is sort of just... And as you look that way, for a brief, with a 22, for the briefest of moments, you see a face looking back at you, and then as soon as you make eye contact with it, somebody walks in front of you, and the face is gone. Can you roll me a history check, please? With a 16, you swear you know this face, but it's like seeing a ghost. It's like you know that this face is of someone that, if it is who you think it is, has been dead for years. And the best, with a 16, all you can remember is that you can't quite... It was too quick. There was not enough detail. But if this is from the time in your head of like remembering, this is someone that you used to remember from Talion City. Hellraya notices the look on your face as you're trying to do this and kind of like glances in the direction you were looking, doesn't see anything of note, looks back at you, looks to Kyria and Pipwick, and says, "We should go back to our friends. As they've pointed out, we're safer in more numbers."
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Okay. As you guys turn to look in the direction of basically going that way, down the row, you guys actually see, passing from your left to right, you see Talina, you see Dax, you see a squirrel riding on the shoulder of some creature moving some humanoid moving very awkwardly, and a dog. And they're basically right there, moving that way. Zoop.
Well, at least it wasn't hard to find them.
And
I wave.
yeah, you guys all see them very quickly. Scorch barks a couple times, indicating he also sees them. And within a moment or two, you guys have reunited. Basically, right there.
So what was that all about?
I just shrugged.
Nothing to worry about, just thought I saw someone I recognized.
Friend, foe? Not certain? Shrug. Okay. Well, Okay, well, should we investigate further, or did you lose him?
I don't even know what he was looking at.
Yeah.
So
I'll ask our employer if he'll be able to find out any info.
I need to double check something. It doesn't. I hand Grigor the sending stone.
Okay.
Use this and then, give it back.
And then, give it
You
back.
have 25 words.
Okay, so let me double check here. I mean, I'm not going to move it into your inventory just simply because you're supposed to hand it back.
Yeah.
But in your hand, you're holding a small, smooth stone with carvings on one side that appear to be like someone, like a face with their mouth open, and sort of like little etchings to indicate sound or wind coming out of its mouth. And it does appear to be where because it's the side profile of a carved face, where the ear would be, is just kind of a hole that's carved into it, and it kind of curls into the stone, so you can't see just the bottom of the hole. And it's about the size of like a tangerine, not tangerine, not tangerine. I'm sorry, like a clementine.
I'm gonna do this so you guys can see the picture of it.
Yeah, there you go.
Not a big picture, but it's a picture.
Grigor would just hand the sending stone back and says, You need to collect my thoughts before I say anything.
Okay. Well, when you figured out what you want to say, just, and I put the stone back in whichever pocket, pouch, whatever I have, keep it in.
Yeah. Okay. So, you just to confirm, Grigor, you did not send anything to Cassavus, and
Yep.
and she's okay. And so, Talina, you are in possession again. Okay, just making sure.
Yes. And I have refunded the resources. So.
Great.
That said, where are we off to? Do people have things they wish to do before we are to report back here?
I don't got nothing.
Hellraya just kind of glances around and also kind of shrugs and says, well, if we're waiting for the tuxedo, we don't want to stray too far from the market, otherwise we're gonna have to walk very far. Was there any other errands that needed to be completed, or I know that you just mentioned our employer. Do we want to go speak to him, or do you want to use the stone?
I wouldn't even know where to find him, given that his office has been redecorated.
We're talking about Cassavus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna cast sending to Cassavus.
Bet. Okay. And so you have, I believe, sending is 25 words.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Cassavus, it's me, Pipwick. We as a collective have been thinking about you lately.
Oh, geez. Okay, I lost count.
15.
Okay.
Where could you possibly be located? Maybe we can find you.
Find is the last word that comes out.
Wait, we can find. Okay.
Okay.
All right. We can find. After a moment or two, you hear responding in your head, Pipwick, you hear kind of a, it's been a minute. I'm surprised to hear from you of all creatures, but nevertheless, it's good to hear from you. I can be found in the what'd you say?
I lost count.
Oh, okay. I can be found at the temples. I have a meeting. And then it stops there.
I'm gonna just turn to the group. Our boys got a meeting at the temples, so we can pop over there.
And she points at like the wall that she's been walking along. That's that way, isn't it?
Hellraya kind of nods.
No,
yes, it should be right there.
The wall around the market, is it like properly maintained, or are there like gaps that we can sneak through?
No, it's an actual wall. It's not a very tall wall, and it's kind of it's one of the, as some of you guys know, it's one of the older structures in the city. All of you at this point, in one way or another, learned or heard or discovered that this used to be the stronghold of the city many, many, many years ago. And when they moved to a city council system and moved to the district in the southwest corner of the city, this was left as this walled-in area, and it just kind of organically became a market. So there are only 4 entrances to this area, and the walls are not in the most like. I mean, obviously they're not gonna hold up against like an attack, but short of trying to scale them with rope and a grappling hook or very nimble fingers, you're probably gonna you need to go through one of the entrances or exit.
Fair enough. You guys see a...
I'm gonna do this again to make my life easier.
Oh, I don't have that. I thought I had that. Actually, no. Yeah, I can do that. I'm going to flip an imaginary coin. It has 2 of the same sides. They don't know that. But yeah, I create a non-magical trinket or illusionary image that can fit in my hand. It couldn't fit in my hand.
All right.
It only lasts for 6 seconds, so it's like I flip it up, and then as it hits my hand, like I just look at it and it immediately disappears. And I go, "Are you going that way?" And she points towards that gate.
All right.
Why is it not letting me do the thing? There. That
Sounds
one.
good. So she points at the southeast gate, not far from where you're standing. Do you guys all as a group head off towards the temples?
Yeah.
All right. Takes one last look around. Okay, go ahead and roll me one last perception, essentially, as you guys are about to walk out of the southeast gate and back into the city proper and out of the market. Okay. With a 14, as you take one last look around, crowds of people conducting business. Nobody seems to be looking at you. No one you seem to recognize. Nothing of note as you step out of the under the archway here and back into the city. Okay. So as you guys exit the market, and I mean, as soon as you exit and you look to essentially your like front right, you can see the cathedral at the center of the temple's district, or the temple's square, essentially. It's not a very long walk. It's maybe a 5-10 minute walk, and you're there. And short walk later, you enter the temple's area. And Kyria, this is no stranger area to you. You're very familiar with this place. You see a few faces that kind of nod respectfully, specifically at you, kind of in recognition. However, hold on one second. I need to check a thing before I open my mouth. Sorry, I gotta figure out where I'm looking here. Okay, well. Okay. I need a quick little thing. I need a Constitution check from Tippy. And then, Tippy, I also want you to make a Constitution saving throw for your companion.
Alright, so I need a check and a save.
The check is from you. The saving throw is going to be from Sean, your guys' undead puppet. And his Constitution modifier is going to be a 3. So you would just basically roll your Constitution check, and then a saving throw for him, but it's going to be D20 plus 3.
So it'd be a 5 for the save for the zombie boy.
Okay.
I did his first for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
What is the check? That's just normal.
Mm-hmm.
Dice, stop falling on the floor.
That's right. Real quick. What is Tippy's favorite color? Completely unrelated to what's happening.
I don't know. It's a squirrel. What squirrels like?
Pick one.
The color of acorns. I don't know.
Brown?
Brown.
Okay, brown.
Tannish. I don't know.
All right, there's your...
Dude's gonna be in a beige tuxedo.
Yep. Yep.
Tippy rolled a 13.
Okay, all right. With a 13, nothing happens. You're fine.
Dice
you
don't
rolled,
like
you rolled a what? You rolled a what on the first one?
5.
A 5. As you step inside the fictitious border of this temple's district, basically where the houses stop, the stonework on the ground changes slightly, and in front of you are 2 large statues. One depicting a male deity of some kind, and the other depicting a female deity of some kind. If anyone would like to roll religion checks, they can to see if they can identify these. Otherwise, you just see 2 large stone statues in front of you with a fountain in between them that's flanked by these statues. And as you guys all grow close to it, Kiri, you get a small sense of warmth. This is kind of your stomping grounds. You would get it, by the way, if you're rolling for that, you get advantage on that, Kiri, so you can re-roll that if you want, because you're literally a cleric.
I'll take the higher one.
Yes, you take the higher one. The one on the left, the male figure is Lathander, the Morning Lord, and the other is the female goddess Serenray, the Everlight.
Mom!
Please tell me she says... I'm kidding. You can have inspiration for that. That was funny. Mom.
Actually, no, let's screw that. I'm going to
She
use my
doesn't say
advantage
that.
for that one. Or my inspiration, rather.
Are you still... The DM that you sent me, are you still doing that?
Yes. I'm just using my inspiration to get
Okay.
advantage on that.
Okay, so
So
as
it's
you
a
guys
17.
step into this area, you guys recognize... Well, Kira, you recognize these 2 statues as Lathander and Serenray, the Everlight and the Morning Lord, excuse me. Basically, sort of like flanking the entrance to this space. Tippy, you feel a little buzz kind of go down your back, kind of like makes your hair stand up on end kind of makes your hair bristle up a little bit. And you kind of like, that was a little weird, but it goes away immediately. No big deal. However, your undead companion you're standing on starts to howl in pain as he fails his Constitution saving throw. And he is going to take... That was almost an 8 on my screen, by the way. Is going to take 2 points of radiant damage as he nears this holy area of the city, and is an undead creature. Give me a second here. If I can remember how to do this without the token on the screen. Wait, can I just do... Whoops, nope, that was 2 points. I want it to be... There we go. Takes 2 points of radiant damage, and it's and it kind of like starts sizzling as this bright light starts to emanate off of him, and then it fades. But he's still standing underneath you. He's not looking great. He seems a little like perturbed, but he's still under your control. And then in answer to Talina's check, with the 17, you do notice so basically, for clarity, the way that this entire district, this little square, is essentially comprised, anyone who's wandered through here before would recognize this layout. It is not flanked by any walls. It's flanked by other buildings and houses. And there's essentially 3 entrances or exits to this space. The main one you guys are coming in through, one kind of down to your left. It's like a side entrance that parallels the one you came in from. And then there's another one in the southwest corner that just kind of branches out into the residential area behind the temples. Kyria would know this, and Grigor might know some of this, but essentially what you know is that for illustrated purposes, all of these purple and blue buildings in this area are either other religious sites or living quarters for members belonging to different orders and different religious elements of the temples. The main square has a massive cathedral in the middle with no distinguishing marks of any sort of deity specifically. Kyria, you would know that predominantly the Morning Lord is worshipped within inside this temple, but all the deities usually get some representation within there. Kind of like if any of you played BG3 and you're inside Baldur's Gate and you go to like the religious site, there's like a bunch of different deities in one temple. Very similar to that. There's like statues representing each one, and people will go to their little spot, say a prayer, leave an offering, and then leave. That's kind of how it is. But then there's also individual little mausoleums / little temples that are built kind of flanking it, which are these little circular ones here. And those are specific ones representing specific deities. Talina, as you scan the area, the target of your search, you do notice off to your left, and again, for illustrated purposes, basically that one is the one you recognize. That is the representative structure for the deity that you're looking for.
Would I know why the dead guy next to me just yelled out?
You would know that this entire square, the temple's area, because all the gods and goddesses are represented here, there's a strong presence of radiant power and energy that just kind of rests here. And an undead creature getting within a certain radius of this area is not going to bode well to the radiant energy that is just kind of like emanating from this space.
Then I say to Tippy, this place might not be good for you and your companion. As I'm sure you have noticed.
Well, I guess I'm sitting outside then.
Okay, do you back up and kind of sit on the outskirts? Sorry, I'm
Yes.
eating dinner. I apologize. Okay. So the rest of you guys kind of step at least into the sort of district, so to speak. And then Tippy, you and your strange compatriot, so to speak, kind of linger on the outside.
Yeah, and subconsciously, Talina would start walking towards the left of the main building.
Okay. All right.
Like, not straight at the
Sure.
thing, but like just like in that rough direction being.
Did I saw Talina give the rock to Grigor, right?
Yes, and then you would have immediately seen her take it back when Grigor said he needed to gather his thoughts.
Cool. I'm gonna be like, hey, Squirrel's gotta stay outside, give it a rock so she don't get stabbed.
The rock can't talk to us. The employer has the other rock. Plus, the squirrel can talk to us regardless.
Ah, fuck. Okay. Never mind.
Think hard. Maybe the squirrel will hear you.
It makes my head hurt.
Honestly, props to Pickwick for some big brain ideas, despite the fact that they were unneeded.
Also, I have the spell if needed.
Yeah,
So people
several of
giving
you
a
do.
fuck about his party.
Honestly, I do too.
What was that, Kyria?
I said, obviously not in character, props to Pippik for giving a fuck about his party.
Yeah. Amen.
I'm on my best
cares?
behavior,
It's such a
dude.
weird
He's
way to
doing
show
so
it.
good, guys. He's doing so good. He's getting pats. He's getting treats. The whole nine.
I'm on my best behavior. Like,
Yep. Hellraya looks a little uncomfortable in this area. A little uneasy, but she's doing all right. She just kind of, you can tell she's not really accustomed to being around this sort of stuff. But as you guys start to leave the outskirts where you leave Tippy and her mount, so to speak, you start to kind of, you walk between the statues and the fountain, and kind of, it's a large space, a lot of open stonework. Like the cobblestone streets have kind of shifted into more of like a more ornate stone ground here. And it's a very large open space, save for the religious sites here. Talina, you kind of find yourself subconsciously walking a little bit more to the left and a little bit more to the left and a little bit more to the left. The rest of you don't really veer in one direction or the other unless you choose to. You guys kind of keep walking towards the main cathedral in the center of the square. None of you notice anywhere around you Cassivus as of yet, and he's not hard to spot, being that he dresses kind of similar to Pipwick, purplish clothes, very nice, usually a little bit nicer than those around him. Obviously his pale white skin and his pinkish purple hair. He does kind of stand out in a crowd, but you don't seem to notice him yet. Does anyone do anything, or you guys continue to walk in your respective directions?
You said that there was people like giving nods to me and stuff.
Occasionally, yeah. Just individuals that you've seen around the
Here
district.
a little bit, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
I was gonna approach one of those people and ask them if they have seen in person and give them Cassius's like general description, and consider that before you told me tieflings are an extremely common. I'm hoping that would help me.
Despite your guys' group's dynamic, yeah, tieflings are not the most common individuals, even though one may think differently with your guys'
Yeah,
party
because
walking around.
there's a magnet somewhere within the group that attracts them.
That
Clearly,
just attracts tieflings out of the woodwork. It's crazy. No, you approach one of the other clerics that's in this particular district, and you notice that they also share a symbol of the Everlight on their chest. You've noticed this individual around. You've never really had a chance to get to know them. You don't know their name, but it's kind of that facial recognition, but not personal recognition. And it's a female half-elf dressed very elegantly in ceremonial like religious robes, less than like streetwear, but does have the symbol of the Everlight around their chest, and kind of glances over and sees you and nods politely. And as you walk, and she recognizes that you have an intention to speak to her, she faces you and yes, may I help you?
Good morning,
She nods.
Kyria of Italian City. I was wondering if you have seen a tiefling around here who kind of dresses very nicely. I don't remember his description, but I will give his general description.
Yeah, you describe his purple suit with purple like ascot and vest, and he sometimes has a cane or as a rapier attached to his hip. He's his pale skin, his purple hair, his bone-colored horns, and she kind of listens and kind of has that quizzical look on her face. So she kind of glances up, thinking, "Yes, I do believe that I saw a tiefling of that general description." And she kind of points, and she starts to point towards the southern end of the district, towards some of the residential buildings at the far side, kind of down this area. "I believe I saw him enter one of the priests' houses down at the end of the square. It looks to be he had some sort of familiarity with them, and I believe was discussing something. I was too far away to see anything, though."
Oh, that's okay. He's a friend. We're just trying to find him. Thank you very much.
Of course. And she bows politely and turns, and you see that there was a companion of hers waiting, and the two of them meet up and wander off.
As I get back to the rest of the group, tell them he is somewhere that way. So he entered a priest's house. It probably wouldn't be polite for us to really follow in there, but we could wait for him in the area.
Yeah, all right. Works for me.
I will lead the way to where I was told he is.
Okay. So you guys make your way towards the southern end of the Temples District. Talina, did you stick with the group, or have you kind of veered off at this point?
I would have been close enough for the conversation, but like my focus would just be drawn to that building, and I'm like, as the group starts moving, I'll start moving as well, but not necessarily in the same direction if they're not going left around the main building.
Yeah, you know what? I'd say since you'd kind of already veered, I'd say unless someone had a pretty good like argument that yeah, you guys could basically go around this side, and you would basically go in the direction you were kind of heading.
Yeah, and as we get closer to that temple, I'll
Okay.
slowly like veer off from the main group,
Mm-hmm.
like obviously like knowing full well what I'm doing, but I'm
Mhm.
like, I need to do this, and I don't know why,
Okay.
but I need to go in here.
As the group gets to what is essentially the second temple, and each of these temples is almost identical to the one previous. There's subtle variations in some elements or like things that are left on the steps leading up into what is essentially one circular chamber. And Kira, you recognize these buildings. You've been in the one for the Everlight, which is on the other. It's on the opposite side of the main temple for the Everlight, and it's one big circular room with a statue in the middle, a statue on the backside, effigies and carvings on the walls. Sometimes there's painting, sometimes there's always stained glass in various elements and natural lighting coming in. And you know that all of them are kind of similar, but obviously there's subtle variations that patrons and followers of these deities kind of use to customize each one to their individual, deity's personality, essentially, or description. As you guys near the second one in this other row, you notice that there is each one of these kind of has a carving of the kind of commonly accepted symbol of these different religious orders at the cornerstone of the archway of each of these. And on the second one, you notice that there is this symbol that looks kind of like a crescent moon with these little circular elements carved into where the kind of halfway point of this crescent shape is. And Kiri, I'm not gonna make you roll for it. You know this one. You know the symbols more so than you know some of the physical carvings of the individuals. Talina already knows this one as well, but the two of you recognize this is Carillion Litharian, the Archheart. And Talina, you kind of wander in that direction and kind of hit the first few steps. And it's maybe like 5 or 6 steps up into the first little entryway before it takes a couple more steps up into the main circular chamber. But you start walking that way.
Do I know what he's about?
The Archheart?
No.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. You would know that the Archheart is one of the gods of art and magic. He's kind of the more chaotic good alignment. Typically associated with like arcana, life, light, can have an association with war, depending on culture. And is commonly considered in mythology and like historical creation stories as potentially the creator of the elven race.
I assume I would notice Talina walking in that direction.
You would, yeah. I mean, everyone would kind of see Talina kind of veering off a little bit. I mean, it's not anything too hard.
Yeah, I'm not being subtle about it.
Yeah.
I'm just like slowly veering off. I like take up like 2 or 3 steps up, and then I turn, not quite turn fully, but like just look over my shoulder to see if anybody's following me.
Does anyone follow?
I wasn't gonna follow. I was gonna ask, should we wait for you?
If you don't mind, it'll only be a couple of minutes.
Of course.
I need to do this, and I don't know why.
I just kind of smirk a little bit and nod. I understand that kind of feeling. Kiria would stop leading the group and just kind of idle.
Okay, so you kind of idle with the group or at the entrance to the temple?
I guess I would walk up and maybe like lean against the walls and not just stand.
Okay. All right. So, Talina, you start to walk up the steps into this main chamber. You glance over and recognize that while Kyria did follow briefly, she's not following all the way. She's not following you into the circular chamber, like primary chamber of this space. You are essentially alone walking into this this chapel. Essentially, is the best way I can describe it. As you step in, like the other circular chambers in the area as well, it's one large circular space. There is a singular statue in sort of the middle back of the room that is a large, several-story tall carving, stone statue carving of a very tall, very slender, very, for lack of a term, beautiful-looking male elf with long flowing hair, very tall, pointed ears, basically which appears to be like some sort of like high elf-ish individual, wearing a mixture of kind of flowing robes accompanied by like plated battle armor. And he's holding a large, long sword pointed out in front of him, kind of upwards, kind of like his body half turned with the sword forward as he kind of looks up along his arm towards the sword's point, and his other hand is kind of gracefully flowing behind him. There are various items at the base of the statue, things like they clear to be some sort of offering of some kind. Everything from fruits and vegetables to parcels wrapped up with twine to individual little folded pieces of parchment or scrolls that seem to be either poems or songs or letters, as you can kind of briefly see kind of scattered about in front of it. There's flowers, there's wreaths kind of tossed there, etc. Just a smattering of various items indicating elements and items of tithe or sacrifice or donation or offerings. The space appears to be empty aside from yourself. You can hear your own footsteps echo on what is now very clearly marble floor that is echoing on the stone walls and stained glass around you. There are 2 stained glass windows that flank the room high up above on your left and right that are letting in a spectrum of various colored lights from the ambient lighting outside. Beyond the statue on the backside, there is a smaller statue, kind of a similar individual, but in a different pose. This one kind of more standing with arms out on either side and kind of looking up towards the, kind of actually not looking towards the, looking down towards kind of where someone would stand in front of it. And there is an individual standing there who is kind of knelt over, like kind of like one knee, like kind of taking a knee is the word I'm looking for. Kind of taking a knee and has his head bowed, and you can hear just very soft like words, but you can't make out what's being said. You just kind of hear that this individual seems to be praying.
Do they appear to be in some sort of clergy outfit, or
they are wearing robes? They are wearing robes. Very similar. What you notice is that regardless of religion, everyone in this entire district seems to be wearing semi-matching robes. All of them are sort of an off-white in color that's hemmed in a gold-like accent color for like the stitching and the edges and the hemming, and then that is broken up by a very soft pale blue in sort of the shoulder area, and then a darker blue that kind of wraps around their waist almost like a belt. And then each individual seems to wear some sort of talisman or symbol around their neck that indicates the religious order that they belong to. This individual has their back to you, so you can't make out all the details of that, nor the symbol around their neck, but they do appear to be a rather short individual, definitely not an elf. This individual does not appear to be an elf, which is a little bit odd considering the space that you're in.
And are there any like seating places, like pews or cushions or something that one would?
There are kneeling cushions at the base of the statue. One is currently occupied by the individual in front of you. There's another one immediately to the right of that. Only 2. There are some like stone, what could be perceived as benches, kind of around the outer edge in various spots. Some of them appear to have things on them, like books, and one of them seems to have like some different books stacked up, like someone was reading there, potentially this individual. Others look like they have some flowers kind of scattered on them as like offerings or whatever. But multiples of them appear to be empty.
And you said there were 2 statues, right? One in the middle and then the one in the back where the dude is
Correct.
praying
So
towards it?
basically, there's a circular space, and then there's like a jut off the back, and that jut is where like 2 steps go up. You have a base of a statue, and then the one I told you that has his hands kind of outstretched, he's kind of looking down, and there's like a little altar in front of where people can kneel. But then in kind of an off-center portion of the middle chambers where the big statue is.
Gotcha. So I'm gonna walk up to the big statue.
Okay.
Because she don't know what it's supposed to be. Like, there's a dude there, but for all she knows is he works there, or she.
Mm-hmm.
So she's just gonna stand in front of the big statue, very briefly make eye contact, and then, like, not quite bow, but like drop her shoulders and her chin so that she looks down. And she starts mumbling something, and I'm gonna whisper it to both you and Stream.
Okay.
Stream should be able to see that. Pause for effect to verify that Stream could see that. Okay, is my phone that far behind? Oh no, there it is. Cool.
I love that so much. I love that so much. I'm giving you your inspiration for that. That was a perfect little quiet prayer there.
And she,
Go ahead.
and before she leaves, she notices the offerings on like the benches. Takes one of the gloves from her performance outfit
Okay.
and leaves it there, like neatly folded,
Okay.
so that the thumb's facing in, and the hand part is laying on top of the arm part.
Okay.
And she just puts that down and then walks out again.
Okay, so as you place the glove down and these words leave your mind or your lips, depending on how quietly you're whispering them, you stand, and as you turn to leave, you hear a sound and kind of just quickly glance, and you notice that there is a gnome individual wearing robes, kind of standing off to your left. Kind of, they just come around the corner, and hands kind of clasped in front of them. And, well, hello. May I be of any assistance here in the Archheart's presence?
Given that she just went from a very solemn moment to suddenly person next to her, she looks up, like, not like super startled, like she's not jumping back, but like clearly she wasn't expecting somebody next to her.
Sure.
Maybe, I don't know how this works. I saw the flowers and I figured one would leave something after making a request, which I did. And she like awkwardly gestures at the big statue.
And the small gnome smiles brightly and says, "Oh yes, of course. Many people will leave offerings and tithes of all sorts and manners. The Archheart appreciates any reverence that is given to him. We are always so happy to see people of all walks of life pay homage to one of our many creators." And he just smiles as he glances up in his tiny little stature towards this towering statue above you. Like, it's tall for you, and yet for a gnome, this thing is just monstrous. And he just points up to it, just beaming.
Does he respond? Like, maybe not like talking, but like, how would one know that message received, I guess?
Kind of has a quizzical look on his face and says, Oh, you mean to inquiries or prayers, yes?
Yeah.
Ah, yes, of course.
Like, how do I know that I did it right?
he audibly chuckles a bit. Apologies, I do not laugh at you, my child. I understand the naivete of your question, and it's refreshing, I must say. Quite honestly, if you are being sincere with your message and request, along with the offering that you've made, you may consider anything that you said received. As far as responded, I don't speak on their behalf, so I can't say with any level of certainty that he'll say anything back, but I feel I have been spoken to many a time when I have reached out in humbleness and sincerity and with a pure heart. It of course depends. I mean, obviously, if you're wishing ill on someone or something, I can't promise that a god like the Archheart would do much to benefit you or aid you, but I don't know. Gods work in mysterious ways, I suppose. But I'd say that, at least in my experience, I've had feelings and sensations that would tell me that I have been received, as you said. And other times, I feel like I've heard a whisper that may have been himself. So anything's possible. He kind of smiles.
He might notice the moment, like, he makes the I'm assuming like she's interpreting him saying like the ill will of harm or whatever he said
Uh-huh.
as like oh you're a drow. It's like she's taking a hint of casual racism, and she gives him like a glare of like ah, assumptions. How dare?
And he clocks this for a brief moment. And he kind of like recoils just a tiny bit, and you see on his face that like what he said didn't land the way he intended, and he immediately has this facial recognition of like, I don't know what I said, but it wasn't the right thing. Hopefully I did not offend. I promise there was no ill will.
It's okay. I'm no. My people aren't known to be the most peaceful ones.
Oh, no,
Unfortunately.
you misunderstood this. No, I understand. I'm clocking what I'm understanding now. This had nothing to do with that situation at all. No correlation. I was simply meaning that there are some individuals who will come into a place of worship like this and start praying that their enemies are beheaded or the offspring are cursed for eternity, and he kind of glances up towards the statue. That's not his shtick. Just to put it bluntly, there are other deities, so to speak, who focus in that more. So that's more what I was referring to, not anything to do. And he kind of like looks you up and down. I apologize. That's not the intention.
Yeah, there's a reason I'm here and not with the Spider Queen. And she like shudders as those last two words leave her lips. No, I am quite the opposite actually. It's not my offspring, it's my ancestor. Yeah, I guess ancestor. And instead of Will, I just want him back.
He kind of looks at you, puzzled a little bit. It is clear you're going through quite a lot of pain, and I'm deeply sorry. I won't pry, as it's not my place, but I will offer some prayers on your behalf. Hopefully, whatever it is that you offered and brought to our Lord is hopefully it turns out well. I know we've all had our fair share of sorrow and grief. And he clocks that. He sees that. He's very kind of in tune, and he reaches into like the long flowing sleeve of his robe and pulls out a small handkerchief and just kind of holds it out up towards you. Obviously, he being about less than half your size, kind of just like doesn't break stride on what he's saying, doesn't like verbally acknowledge, just holds up a handkerchief towards you. But I sincerely hope that whatever it is that you're dealing with finds peaceful resolve. And if should you need anything at all, I'm here. My name is Father Wilbur Pema, and I'd be happy to sit in quiet reverence with you, or listen, or talk, or whatever it is that you would need.
Could you spell that for me, Sir DM?
Yes. So Wilbar, Wilbar,
Mm-hmm.
and then last name is Pemmer, Pemmer. By the way, that GIF that Jesse put in there is a perfect adaptation of what I visually was like expecting.
Yeah, basically.
Like, yeah, there's something small behind me. Like, where'd you come from?
Nah, as soon as I heard it, Talina had no such reaction. I was a little bit disappointed, but I always think of this GIF when things like that happen.
When something's just there.
When he like shudders away, it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that, but like half as intense.
Yeah. As this is all playing out, can I get something from Talina real quick? Can you roll me a religion check, please?
You sure can. Where are there it is.
Fourth from the bottom.
Oop.
As this is all playing out, and you reach for the handkerchief he's handing to you, whether or not you use it, obviously he's holding it out towards you, and as you reach for it just to grab it, a sense of calm and peace starts to kind of come over you a little bit. Nothing that's like overwhelming, nothing that like cripples you. It's just kind of the sadness fades a tiny bit. It's still there. Your heart still hurts. There's still genuine grief going on with the situation that you're in, but there's a little bit of comfort that just kind of starts to kind of grow within inside of you. you feel the room kind of get a little bit warmer, just a tiny, like not like hot, not like bleh, it's hot, but like it's fall, right? So that little chill that kind of wafts through the air fades a little bit, and that nice subtle warmth kind of just kind of wraps around you just a little bit. Nothing physical happens. You don't hear anything or see anything. It's just kind of this subtle little effect that happens very briefly.
She'd visibly smile, hand back the handkerchief without it ever getting close to her face, and she like does a quick scan around the room to see if there's any kind of like plate that one put coins on. Forget how the name is called in English.
Like an offering plate?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is one. There's actually two that flank the doorway if you would to exit. There's basically two bronze dishes that are held up on stone pedestals, and they're just kind of very wide bowls. They're very shallow, and you can see there's various coin that have been tossed into both of them.
She's going to nod towards the father, turn around, and let's see how sneakily she puts that silver in. Not very.
That was almost a 1 on my screen. With an 11, I mean, I don't know how sneaky she's attempting to be, but with an 11, you're not. I mean, he watches
She's
you
just
leave.
trying to be subtle about it. She's
Yeah,
not
he
making a
watches
big
you.
deal out of it.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, and you kind of subtly move your hand and kind of move it over the top of it and drop some coin in. The problem is coin on coin in a metal bowl. It's subtle until it's not, and suddenly it's clink, 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 and inside the bowl. And he just kind of smirks a bit and turns his back so that if you look over your shoulder, he's not looking at you, and he's actually walking back to the rear of the chamber. And you continue walking out of the chapel and down the steps, and your companions are waiting patiently for you in front of the chapel space.
Sorry about that. Did any of you see him? She looks towards the southern direction.
I'm sorry, I'm just making sure.
Hint,
Was that
party.
was that like a question to the whole group?
Yeah, like I'm wondering if any of them saw Cassius
Oh,
while
okay.
she was in there.
Hellraya just kind of shakes her head and says, no, not since we were pointed in his general direction. But I believe he should still be over there.
Then over there we go.
She nods and looks to the rest of you. Do you guys decide to head that way? I'm going to take the stunted silence as a yes that you guys as a group decide to head that direction. As you guys continue to move through the square and round the back of the temple towards the residential buildings that you were kind of directed towards. You notice there's multiple buildings over here, but unfortunately with the directions from the fellow Everlight cleric, they were not very specific. They're just that somewhere in this side of the square, Cassius was seen entering the home of one of the religious folk back here. You're not exactly sure which one. I think Jesse is still missing as well. While this is happening, we'll go ahead and we'll zip back real quick. So Tippy, is Fox still here? Make sure she's not AFK.
I'm alive, maybe.
You're alive, maybe. All right.
Possibly.
No sleeping yet. Tippy, you are waiting on the outskirts of this area here. Your companion, a little injured, is sitting beneath you. What are you doing in this time? What are you thinking about? What are you focused on? What's happening with Tippy?
Mostly just people watching.
People watching? Okay. All right. Any thoughts? Any dwellings? Anything that would be ruminating around her head?
Yes. How many more zombies can I raise?
Oh no. Is that an actual thought?
Not in that particular way, but
Okay.
kind of.
As you kind of think on the limitation of your magical abilities and power, and as you wonder, how far could I take this? You remember the stone that effectively helped bring you back to life from literally the dead. You have this cold sensation that basically never leaves you, kind of grip you for a moment, and you realize that that stone could potentially do you a lot of give you a lot of power. That using that stone could potentially do exactly what you're thinking about on a grand scale. You're unsure, but you have this gut feeling that that could be associated with that. And as this is kind of ruminating around your head back and forth, you feel a presence enter your mind again. And we're praying I have the right effect.
What are you thinking about? I
Yeah.
sense ambition.
The voice got distorted.
Yeah, it's too much echo. Hold on. I had to rebuild everything, so he's going to be a little different. Do you answer?
I don't know what you said.
Oh, did you not hear it at all?
I heard it. I just couldn't understand
I'm
it.
sorry. It said, "What are you thinking about?" I sense ambition.
She's pretty much gonna be like, I want to see how many more we can raise.
That cold sensation, very briefly, kind of flashes warm and back to cold.
To be honest, me too. That's a strange little trinket you found yourself.
Technically, it found me.
True, yes it did.
As this conversation going on in your head, the book, you glance in your corner of your eye, and your book is floating next to you. Just red and green, kind of smoky, arcane power, kind of just spins and twirls around it, kind of wafting in and out of the closed pages, and it just kind of floats there, at about your level on the side of this, on the shoulder of this undead creature.
Do you know what that is? Do you know where it comes from?
I don't know.
Okay, I want you to roll me a d20. I want you to add 4, and I want you to add 8 total to that roll.
I'm adding a +8.
Yep, +8.
+27.
So you don't know. You possess not one, but 2 ancient relics. Relics that contain unfathomable power when individual, but immensely more when combined. And there are more. Many, many more than 2.
Well, I guess we gotta combine them and find more of them.
I like this plan. But be warned, you're not the only one looking for them.
And the voice fades.
Neon giving me the Infinity Stone challenge. Look, I got a perfect gift for it.
This is what we in the business call a fetch quest.
That nobody else knows about.
Well, ish.
Well, other than the book.
No, they saw
nobody knows.
They saw the other stone.
I want to
Well,
go
no,
out
they-
like Spider-Man
they
when
don't-
she snaps.
You want to what?
I want to go out like Spider-Man when she snaps. Not a dry ice in the house, baby. I'm getting an Oscar.
Delina, I don't feel so good. Oof. Oh my gosh, is that undead Thanos?
Yes, with Infinity Stones.
Good lord.
But you had the perfect gift for it.
Yep. So while that's happening, we're gonna go back over since Jesse's back. You guys are now standing at the southern end of the temple's district, or the temple square, really. And there's still occasional movement around you of clerics moving to and fro. No sight of Cassibus yet. You know that he's somewhere in this side, but you're unsure of which building exactly. Do you guys decide to just wait, or do you guys go looking for him?
If anybody offers to go looking for him, Telena would point out that she's not comfortable knocking on random clergy doors.
I am.
Pipwick just goes for it.
No, I'm asking permission. I'm behaving today.
He's doing so good.
I'm so sorry. I missed what was said.
It's okay. It was basically, I asked you guys as a group, because you're not 100% certain exactly where he is, other than just he was spotted on this side of the district entering one of these buildings with another religious individual. Do you guys go looking for Cassibus, or do you essentially wait to see if he shows up?
I would wait.
Okay. Do you guys...
Did Pipwick
What?
Did Pipwick ask for permission out loud, or
Oh, yeah.
did he just
Oh, yeah.
think that? Oh,
Nope.
let me rephrase. I'm not comfortable with us as a group knocking on random clergy doors.
Noted.
But, you know, I'm not your mother. If you want to go knocking on doors, I'll just step. And as she takes a step back with her back towards the big building, I'll just step over here.
I am behaving today.
Hellraya kind of looks and he's like, it could be campaigning.
I like look visibly impatient.
Another half step back as she mentions politics.
As you guys are having this conversation, Hellraya gives Talina a mischievous smirk of like, I'm gonna cause some trouble. You guys hear ahem, and the tall ones who just glance over versus the short ones to turn around. You see Cassibus standing just about a couple feet away from you. He's just opened a door essentially and stepped out into the street where you guys, or into the square where you're at. And aside from him is about his height but slightly taller half orc, actually, with obviously deep green skin, large tusk teeth coming out of his lower jaw. He has very towering individual. He's actually, strangely enough, he's not wearing traditional robes like you'd see in the district here. He's actually wearing a like a cloak / shawl, sort of like overcoat sort of thing, that is covered in moss and various kind of tree barks, and has sort of a very greenish tint to everything. He actually also seems to have a scar across his face that actually has moss growing out of the scar, and looks like a kind individual, has kind eyes and kind face, but definitely kind of jarring visually comparatively to everything else you've seen in city, especially here. And he's just standing holding a large walking staff, as standing to the left of Cassibus, your guys' right. And he's just standing watching, and Cassibus has his hands placed behind the small of his back. It's good to see you, my friends. What can I... Oh, my apologies. Where are my manners? And he turns and goes, my friends, this is Father Grimdark Hollow. He is visiting our fair city from far to the north in the Emerald Forest. I haven't spoken to him in some time. We used to conduct business north of here, up near the lake. But anyways, Father Hollow, this are my friends here. The quite honestly, I don't know what to call them, but they've been doing some work for me. And the father kind of bows his head respectfully and says, "It's a pleasure to meet you."
The Guild of Incredible Musicians and Friends is what you will call us.
Cassibus's eyebrow just starts crawling up his face. Yes. And the father's the Guild of Musicians and friends.
Fantastic musicians.
Fantastic musicians. Apologies, my friend.
friends.
Apologies. Yes. Caspus kind of smirks back between. Anyways, you said you needed to speak to me. Father Hollow, if you don't mind, I have some business to conduct here, but we'll catch up later. He nods. I'll see you later. And turns and walks back into the house and closes the door.
I didn't necessarily, but Grigor's been battling with it for a little bit now.
Mr. Grigor. Oh, and he looks over at you, Grigor. Oh. Well, come, let's walk and talk. And he starts kind of walking sort of in a eastern, and then kind of like basically looks like he's starting to walk towards the exit of the temples, like where you guys came in from, but like in a very slow like saunter, like he's going to talk to you while walking. And as he does, he kind of, again, hands folded behind the small of his back. And as you notice, he is dressed in his finer silk suit, the purple suit with various tones and shades. He does have his deep purple ascot on. He has a rapier that is sheathed on his left hip. And he looks like he's in his finer attire that you have seen him in before. What can I do for you, Mr. Grigor?
It's, Grigor would awkwardly look around to make sure no one's listening.
I won't make you roll for it. I'll say that based on your passive perception, you're easily able to tell that there's nobody around you that would be eavesdropping. It's a very open space. The only people around you are your companions. Occasionally, there's people in the general vicinity that are like clearly walking to and from certain locations, but you don't notice any like eavesdroppers.
It's just that in the market, I thought I saw someone I could have sworn was dead, but I'm not sure. Couldn't get a good enough look, but he did look familiar. Just
interesting. Well, I'll be honest, you're not the first person to ever see a ghost. That said, where is this individual? How do you know this individual?
It's been a while, so I can't remember the exact details, but they're from Talion City, and could have sworn they died a while back.
Interesting. Well, as far as the death part, I'm not familiar with. As far as being from Talion City, there aren't very many people I'm aware of it within Darun from there. Currently outside of maybe some sailors on the docks. Could it have been one of the traders or individuals from the docks, you think? Or not? Yeah. So you described the individual, which wasn't much. You got a brief glimpse. Essentially, it was another human. They looked very similar to you. Darker hairs, darker eyes. Like a full beard, but not like a thick beard, just kind of like a coming in beard. A little weathered, some scars. I will say this, with the 22 that you rolled on that perception check, I can't believe I remember that number. With the 22 you rolled on that perception check, one of the things that you noticed was on the skin was like when the skin gets very badly burned and leaves kind of like a burn scar, like burn marks. You noticed that on one of his cheeks. Very briefly. And you relay this information to Cassivus. Kind of scratches his chin. I'm not 100% certain of who you're describing. However, I have heard about an individual who's recently arrived here in Darun. Somewhat matching your description. Humans obviously are not uncommon. However, someone with burn scars on their face did recently come into my scope, so to speak. He kind of glanced around at the group, at a few of you guys, and you kind of notice he's now talking less to Grigor and now to the group. Have any of you all crossed paths with another merchant group called the Iron Brand? Have you heard of them?
Just a slow nod from Delena.
Raises an eyebrow and
Fortunately.
unfortunately. Oh. Interesting. Why do you say unfortunately, Miss Kyria?
Wait, hold on. Nope, Delena would not, because she doesn't know it. She doesn't know the... That's an out-of-character thing, I know. That's not something Delena knows.
Well, but everybody at... Wait, what you already said, or...
She wouldn't nod towards hearing the Iron Brand, because I don't think Delena knows that. That's something Ty knows.
I think at this point, unless I'm mistaken, I think everybody at this point knows the group that you guys interacted with was called the Iron Brand. I'm trying to think of anybody. I don't think anybody kept things to themselves about that specifically. There were details of things that obviously people know out of character that were shared in character to specific parties, but to my understanding, the entire group has identified the ambushers as members of some group called the Iron Brand.
After the fight, I did pace around in circles
Yeah.
for a couple minutes, yelling, "No, no, no!
Yes, that's right.
I'm not being enslaved! No, no, no!"
Yep, and I know. Well, Jesse, you can help because I know Kyria recognized it. Did Kyria relay any information?
I don't think I ever mentioned.
Okay.
that.
Okay. Let's do this then, since we're not 100% sure, Tyro, and I know you, because you're not 100% sure either. Let's err on the side of caution and say that while you guys know the group you interacted with, and there's like obviously some varied levels of understanding and familiarity here, Kyria, you do mention that you are familiar with this group, correct? When Caspus asks you, you did say that. Okay.
When he mentions the group, I spit on the ground.
Okay, and he kind of sees that and clocks that. I'm gonna say that Hellrhea. Let's do this. I don't want to push too far on this since I'm not Hellrhea, but we're gonna do this real quick. We're gonna do a. I'm gonna see if she can hide. Nope, she definitely can't. That's a natural one. She makes a face of pure recognition, and she can't maintain her emotions. And Caspus clocks it, but doesn't say anything. Looks back to Kyria and Pipwick and says, well, clearly you have some history with them. Kyria, why do you say unfortunately?
Well, from what I know, you tend to hear things. If you have heard about last night's battle, would be the most appropriate word.
Oh, the incident that
Within
happened in
the
the council
city?
district.
That would have been us versus them.
I had a
Allegedly.
feeling. I heard something about a dragon, and I instantly knew it couldn't have been just any street ruffian.
Yes, well, we were attacked by them. I don't know why exactly, but I mean, I can guess, and either way, and it ended bad for them and good for us, but there is more of them here, and
Yeah, you are correct. I have heard that there is a small consortium of them here popping up in the city. Well, for those who aren't aware, the reason I ask, for clarity, the Iron Brand is a relatively new, he kind of air quotes, up and coming black market group. Not very many scruples, this organization. They're pretty much willing to deal with anything. The reason I say, and he air quotes again, up and coming, is because they're not new in the sense they haven't existed for a long period of time. Up and coming as in they are, in the very recent past, making bold and aggressive maneuvers across the region to try to either stake a claim for themselves or make a name for themselves, or some combination there in the middle. It's jury's still out on that one. But the reason I ask is the individual that points to Grigor that you described, Mr. Grigor, arrived with them. And my sources here in town claim that he was not only with them, but he was wearing their insignia. Some sort of skull being enwreathed by chains or something or other. I have not seen it personally. But supposedly he's with them, and he arrived around the same time that they showed up here in the city. Yes, Taro.
When he mentions the insignia, given that I actually had some
Oh yeah,
close-up
all of you seen
interactions
the...
with moving the bodies,
Yep, all
would
of
I
you seen
immediately
insignia.
recognize that as the dudes who came after Dax?
Yes, yeah. Anyone who and now that he's made that connection, all of you have enough information in character to understand the organization you fought, the ambushers, is matching what he's talking about. Like it's all the dots now connect essentially. But you say that they attacked you. You attacked them, or they attacked you? And by the way, while this is happening, he's walking. So like at this point, you guys are about halfway across the square, and Tippy, you can see them halfway across the square on the east side of the temple, walking slowly in your direction with Cassivus in tow.
Before Talena answers the question from Cassivus, I look forward, see Talena and Sean, and go, "Oh, don't be too startled about the squirrel's new friend." And
You mean to be?
they attacked
Yeah, he meant
her, and she nods towards Dax.
Okay.
That
Sorry.
was a musical nod.
Cassivus kind of glances and
Oops.
kind of glances in the direction of where Tippy is and says, "Is she stand? Do you have another friend I need to meet?" And he referencing the human that she's standing on. It's like, I'd love to meet more friends, of course. You say don't be surprised. Quite frankly, at this point, nothing surprises me. But in due time, as you guys are still a pretty good distance off.
No, you do not.
No, you do not. What? Huh?
Meet a new friend, I think.
Oh yeah, I mean you're still walking
He's
across the
responding
square
to-
here, but regardless, we'll address Tippy when we get there. But yes, you said they attacked you or you attacked them? I'm just curious.
They
They
attacked
us.
her, and
Oh.
Telena's nodding towards Dax, hey, they're after her specifically, but I don't want to make it too obvious to everybody around, just to our group.
Cassius kind of half squints, goes, "Interesting." Kind of glances at Dax. And he kind of looks at Dax. What would Dax's facial expression be at that being talked about?
He would be trying to keep a neutral face.
Okay. I'd say at
Trying
this...
to hide. She's very much hiding her, trying to hide her emotions.
Okay. Does she make any sort of acknowledgement yeah, he's right, or yeah, she's right, or is it just trying to remain stoic?
She gives a little nod in agreement when it's mentioned, but she doesn't say anything.
Okay. He clocks that and kind of subtly nods along. Interesting. I won't push that one right now, as he kind of glances around the open space y'all are in. Not the time or the place. Anyways, back to the original question, Grigor. And at this point, you guys have neared the statues, and you're within about 50 feet of Tippy and her mount. And he glances over and says, anyways, back to the original. What is she standing on? And he's looking right at Tippy. He's like, you have another friend. You thought you said you didn't. I'm very confused. Who is this individual? And at this point, as he's nearing, he recognizes something's off, but he's waiting for someone to clue him in.
Well, no longer matters who he was because he is dead, or rather undead.
But he's standing. Oh, and then, at this point, you guys have now met up with Tippy, and he clocks what you're talking. Aha, got it.
We're getting him a tuxedo.
Well, and he kind of looks at you, looks at the undead creature. I mean, might work. Sure, why not? Seen stranger things in this town. Glances at Tippy. Oh, yeah.
By the way, while you're here, I just hand him a poster really quick.
He takes it. He just this devilish grin starts to cross his face, just almost like Joker-esque. I love this. And he folds it up very neatly and nicely and tucks it inside his left inner coat pocket. Whatever you need, my friend. And he winks at you.
Thank you.
Of course. I'm sure Spitwick will love this.
Oh yeah, make sure he sees it.
Oh, without a doubt. Glances back up. So, Tippy, who's this? And he says, tell me more.
I don't know his name. He's my mount.
I see that.
Didn't we give him a name? I said, didn't we give him a name?
You did.
Was that in character given name?
As far as I'm concerned, his token's name is Sean, so I'm rolling with it.
I knew we were talking above the table. I just didn't know that was in game.
So his name's Sean now.
Sean.
I don't think we have named him in character, but I guess we have now.
Why not? Who cares? He reaches forward and he reaches to grab the undead's hand. He actually takes his other hand to grab the hand and reach it up to finish out the handshake because he recognizes what's going on. This pleasure to meet you, Sean, and lets it go. And he's just loving every second of this stupidity. So, where did you get this one? I love this.
Brought him back to life.
Did you now? Where did you? I mean, he looks remarkable condition. Where did you dredge him up? You didn't kill some
He's
random.
still in uniform.
Oh, actually, that's a good question. Is he still?
If he's still in uniform, that Cassius would know where he comes from.
I believe he is, because you guys haven't gotten the tuxedo yet, which means you wouldn't have changed yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so never mind. I backed that up. He sees the uniform. He goes, "Oh, now I understand the warning back there. Oh, interesting. Well, this was what they were wearing, according to my sources. That could prove awkward if one of them spots him."
It's okay. We'll just kill them and make more.
He just chuckles. I mean, I like
Kyria
that
looks
plan.
concerned
Simple,
at that
easy to
particular
remember. And he looks at Kyria. What was that?
Kyria looks concerned at that particular statement.
Oh, I'm sure.
So we'll make more.
Yeah.
Or we could put him in a tuxedo.
He looks at Pipwick. Why not both? Anyways,
Stop encouraging the frickin' gob.
he glances at Dax and is like, "My apologies, Miss Dexor. I don't mean to cause problems where there doesn't need to be any." That said, he gestures towards the undead creature. This is intriguing. As I said, this could be a potential risk for you because this group is somewhere in the city. I don't know where. The only thing my sources have been able to determine is they're somewhere in the Riverside District, as it's the main hub of commerce and movement. The reason I asked all this is, like I said, this individual that Grigor had asked about did arrive with these individuals. Now, I have not had any negative encounters with them. In fact, I've been meaning to try to find a representative of their faction to try to cultivate a business relationship. The last thing I need is competition in this town after years of cultivating and laying the groundwork.
Now, Castivus, if you try and create any type of relationship with them, we are done.
He kind of holds both hands up in kind of a surrendering motion. It's like, understood. Now I have more information. Quite frankly, until right now, I didn't know much about them. I'd much less know that they were ambushing some friends/employees of mine. I don't take kindly to that at all. So rest assured, that ship has sailed.
They are slavers from Highcairn. That is all you need to know about them.
He slowly looks towards you and his eyebrow goes up. Slavers, you say? Interesting.
Yeah, they like to take people like me.
Do they? Interesting. I did not know any of this. I don't deal in that business, nor do I have anything to do with it. In fact, most of Daroon, quite frankly, if most of Daroon knew that a slaver organization was moving in here, would expel them like a cancer. That's interesting. They're probably going to try to keep that quiet. What?
I could give a speech.
Sounds like we should keep that not quiet, though.
I could give a speech.
You could, and he looks to Talina is like, well, you could, but he glances to Dax. If they're already being aggressive and violent towards you,
put a bigger target on our backs. Why don't you? That is probably And at this point, Dax is beyond like
I didn't mean
she.
us
No one can tell
specifically.
why. No one can tell why, but that in itself, that statement sets her off, and she looks over at Pipwick. Put a bigger target on our back, why don't you? Because that's a smart fucking plan. You stupid, stupid goblin.
No, hear me out. If I can actually successfully build a union, we could use the union to push them out of the city.
Or
That
Hear me out.
you really.
listen to the squirrel.
I'm going to walk away from this conversation before I actually kill the goblin.
Cassivus kind of like holds
And
his
with
hands up,
that,
like, "Hold on."
and with that, Dax walks off.
Okay, how far does Dax walk off? Just like keep walking like she's done, or just distance?
Distance.
Okay. The squirrel is.
I didn't mean.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead. You first. Yep.
I didn't mean us as a group make it known, but you know people who can spread rumors and.
That's true.
She kind of
That's
trails
what
off with that. Yeah.
I'm like, at this point, I'm like, kind of like praising. That's what I've been saying the entire time. I could build the union and spread the word within the union who could spread it out. Listen, small folk in this city, they work in every industry. The word could travel like wildfire.
Well,
Yes, but it would lead back to you.
And then I just say that I'm not affiliated with you guys and I kind of take it on the chin. I think my idea could work.
I refer to the gif in the table, which for chat is just somebody leaning back with their hand over their face.
Yeah, RDJ.
That'd be Tony Stark.
Yes. Cassivus kind of like, I
So
believe
it's-
I heard something in my head, and he looks towards Tippy. Was that you, my dear, or was that something else?
Oh, that was me. I have an idea.
Please, by all means. And I'll say this, Dax, you'd hear Tippy in your head, even though you're not immediately adjacent to the group.
I don't know how far that talkie goes.
What'd she say?
Well, 1 second. It's your. I remember there is a distance to it. It is. Hang on a second. I remember we looked this up. Hang on. I gotta.
For some reason, either 120 or 250 is in my head, but I'm not
No,
sure
it's
which.
it's something plus her something. Like it was like it's a base
Ah,
distance.
right.
That's my
plus-
level, ain't it?
Yeah, it's based on your level. I'm just trying to find it. But yeah, it's
Is it
like,
defeated?
Oh, I didn't scroll far enough. Here we go. But you speak via telepathy. I thought we had this somewhere. Hang on a second.
A creature within a number of feet of you equal to 10 times your level.
10 times your level. So basically it's 60 feet. So yeah, 100% that Dax would be able to hear this in her head. And basically she said, I have an idea. This is as much as you heard so far, Dax.
Are we ready for this really, really good idea?
And Caspus, please.
We take my zombie here, we lure them out, and we murder them.
Actually, that's not the worst
Yes.
idea, considering he looks like them. And he is one of them.
How many of them are there? Just give me a rough count.
Who are you asking me?
Yeah, you
I
said that
have-
you said that they're small, but their buildings. How many are here, roughly?
I don't have a number. I mean, my sources reported one small ship's worth of individuals getting off several weeks back. No more than 50 at the time. However, several of those individuals reboarded a ship and left about a week ago, leaving behind whoever was here. So my guess, if I had to take an educated guess, would be a contingent less than 25. But they could have
Holy
grown
shit.
since then.
Tippy, you're gonna need to make some more of them things.
We gotta kill them first. And then I can bring them back.
We are generally heading in the direction of the council, perhaps this is an issue we could bring up with them as well.
Cassivus kind of shrugs his shoulders. I'm going to be honest, the city council won't take kindly to the existence of slavers in the city. I can promise you that. They won't have allies in the council.
Which is what I'm counting on. And besides, while I don't agree with outright murder, even though they are who they are, perhaps at least discussing this issue with the council would save you, should you follow through with this whole get rid of them violently thing, as she looks over the rest of the party, some sort of leniency, and not so that you're not just murdering people in the eyes of the law.
Yeah.
What's a law?
The guards, you know, they go to make an arrest. Things get a little messy.
Yes, well, that's just the thing. None of us here are guards, so it won't count. And
I was a guard like 3 hours ago.
that was
It was way longer than that. It was way longer than that. Sorry.
Here hangs her head in resignation. looks at Tippy and says, "Laws are rules with stricter punishments."
That's not fun.
Which is exactly why they should be followed.
Well, that's debatable. Cassivus says as he kind of glances off in middle distance sort of thing.
Okay, some of the more severe ones should be followed.
Sure. Shadow, did you see? Can you roll me a d6 real quick?
Oh yeah.
You're good.
Hold on. I
All
need
good.
to go. Fuck. I'm just gonna roll a dice.
Yeah, that's fine. It's just I just need a number basically.
Alright. Are my virtual dice gonna be nice to me tonight?
There's
Probably
no
not.
wrong number here. Okay, cool. So you're able to make it. What's your movement speed?
30, I think.
30. So you are already basically about 30 feet away,
Yeah,
like one
30.
movement's worth. You're another 60 feet beyond that. So Grigor, she's about 90 to 100 feet away. Not like you can clearly see her. She's like, just because it's all open area around here. She's like, it's like you guys are under a tree and there's like there's like nice stone everywhere. She's clearly, you can see her. She's just out of range of the telepathy. While Grigor, you're noticing this, Cassivus kind of thinks on it for a moment and says, well, a couple things that I'm curious about now. One, if I may, I'm curious as to why this group has decided to come here, knowing this is not a favorable port for slavery. Two, does anyone, if anyone knows and is willing to share, I'm curious as to why they would attack your group. The fact that a group like that would openly engage in armed conflict on the city streets is a bit surprising, seeing as they need to operate in the shadows, lest they risk being expelled from the city before they're able to place a foothold. Seeing as that I did not know that they were a slavers group when I got information that they were here, just some new enterprise was coming in. They are working very hard to keep that element of their business a secret. In fact, actually, if I may pause for a moment, Ms. Kira, how did you know that they were a slaver group from the north? I myself didn't even know that.
Experience, unfortunately. I used to live there a long time ago, and I remember seeing them and hearing of them.
Understood. That makes more sense.
With regards to why they attacked us, it wasn't really an open fight. They tried to, I suppose, poison and kidnap just one, as she just looks in the direction of Dax.
Mm-hmm. Ah, all right. That makes more
When
sense.
we were separated, and then the rest of us got up, and you can guess how that ended.
Yes, considering
I don't
what
think they
information-
intended for an open fight. That's just what it evolved into.
what it became, of course. Yes. All right, that clarifies that.
Dragons.
Yes, that I'm very curious about. Please tell me it was not real.
Magician never tells his secrets.
He glances down at you. Noted. Moving on. All right, that clarifies a few things for me then. Well, if you're meaning to avoid them, lest you run into them again, I will work to figure out where it is that they are headquartered. I don't know where. My guess, as I said, would be the Riverside District, as again, that is the main hub of commerce and movement here within the city. It's also the furthest distance away from the city council, which usually makes guard response limited, but that varies. If you're meaning to do anything with them, let me know, and I'll see what I can facilitate, what information I can gather. Now, circling back one final time, Grigor, you said you recognized this individual that arrived with the Iron Brand, correct? That you knew or remembered him from Talion City, yes?
Yep.
Okay. Do you know how you recognized or knew him? Or this, whatever? He notes your hesitation and kind of like visibly relaxes himself a little bit to be a little more not appear as if he's pressing you as much.
And I ain't proud of it.
Is that all Grigor says, or was there more that he was saying?
Grigor would share what he knows and would finish off with his backstory with him not being proud of it.
Okay, so what exactly is he sharing? Because I don't want to meta things. I want Grigor to make sure he's saying what needs to be said, or is not saying what he doesn't want to say.
Grigor would mention the gang he was in.
Okay. Do you want me to kind of help clarify that verbally for you, or do you want to share it how Grigor would share it?
Yeah, hope clarifying would be nice.
Of course, yeah. So Grigor relays to Cassivus and the rest of you that can hear. So basically everybody minus Dax, that he had an experience in Talion City where he actually grew up in the slumber area of Talion City. Talion City being a massive city, like wildly bigger than Darun. He was taken in at a young age by a criminal organization and basically did errands for them for quite a while and kind of learned the tools of what is now his trade of a rogue, where he learned how to pickpocket, he learned how to do things to keep himself fed and help out his new quote-unquote family. However, sometime later, when he was a little bit older, Grigor was on a job. He relays how while he was on this job, for some unknown reason, the city guards of Talion City had information of some kind and actually raided his gang's hideout and killed or captured every member of the group when he was gone. And when he returned, everybody was gone or dead, and he needed to save himself, and he fled, and that was the last he saw of his group. Cassivus nods along as this story is told. The rest of you guys do hear all of this as well. Interesting. And from the sound of it, you believe this individual is in some way connected to your former life. This organization. Interesting. I thought, I'm very curious, Sophia, but there's no way you would know based on what you just told me. I hate loose ends and stories that get under my skin. Not your fault, of course. All right. Let me do some research. I might be able to get some information from that part of the world. For now, I would keep your eyes about you. Clearly, this individual that's out there recognized you or saw you from what you told me. But whether or not there are threats, who knows? You said you're on your way to the council district, yes?
Yeah, we have a performance scheduled to maybe get some info over there.
Yes, you told me of this for the councilman's anniversary, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
More subtly, his wife.
Ah, yes. Still no sight of her?
Nope, and I meant to do something last night that I completely forgot about, so I'll have to do that tonight.
Was that in character?
Yes.
Okay, very well. I, quite frankly, have not heard anything of her since your little journey across the river, to be honest. Which is intriguing, odd, and slightly concerning all at the same time.
Yes.
That being said,
Agreed.
Yeah, Fox just said that she's got a dip. I know
Yeah.
that Shadow got a migraine and needed a dip as well, and we're down a melon, so unfortunately we probably need to call it here. It's a little bit shorter than we normally play, but being down 3 players is a little much for me. It's one thing when people gotta start dipping,
that's
but
like half the party.
yeah, being down 1 player for the whole night, 1 because of headaches, and then the 3rd because of time cutoff, it feels really weird to be down that many players when we're trying to progress story. So we'll probably call it here and pick this up again. I believe next week should be fine. Or I think we're going to be down another player next week, but it's a different player. Yeah, I think you're next week. You're down next week, right?
I'm 26th, yeah.
26th. Okay, so you're next week, and then I believe Monhold's the week after that. So, cool. Okay.
No, not next week. Next week is the 19th.
Oh.
Or
Okay.
18th, 19th.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. That being said, we're going to go ahead and call it here for tonight. Basically, as Cassivus is kind of mulling over the information that you guys have given here on the outskirts of the Temples District. So we will pick it up next week, hopefully. And yeah, I will see you guys next week. Thanks everybody for watching. The VOD should be up on YouTube this weekend. I'm hoping I'm going to be busy on Saturday, so I'm hoping I can get it up tomorrow because I am maybe working from home. So have a great night, everybody. Thanks for watching, and